5:51 here on the Todd and Oz Show. Let's give them the business. It's brought to you by MacHikeFordLincoln.com. That's MacHikeFordLincoln.com. Well, festival season is here in the Austin area. Tens of thousands of people will soon be flocking to our city for various events, and including South by Southwest. And in fact, the big festival weekend kind of kicked off with the NASCAR race this past weekend. Now, one of the other big events each year that pumps hundreds of millions of dollars into the local economy is South by Southwest. And last year's economic impact was a little more than $377 million. Down slightly from the previous year. Matt Patton, he's with Angelo Economics and tells KXAN the city relies on the hotel tax revenue that is collected from these large events.
We spend our money locally, and that's great. But when we can get someone to contribute to our economy that doesn't normally contribute to it, that's a value add for us. That tax revenue stays locally, and that really helps us as a community.
Now, South by Southwest said last year that there were more than 10,500 hotel room reservations during the two-week festival, and that alone generated about $2.3 million in tax revenue.
It is an amazing thing that we're the 10th or 11th largest city in the country, and we have some of the most preeminent festivals or events globally. These are events that are screaming to the world, here's Austin, and we're doing really cool things.
Now, South by Southwest kicks off officially this coming Friday, March the 7th. It's a big week for the Trump administration when it comes to trade plans, and it could affect the Texas economy.
The word he uses most often when talking about this is reciprocity. We want other countries to treat us as well as we treat them.
Tariffs on Mexico and Canada go into effect this week. Senator John Cornyn of Texas trusts President Trump's plan.
President Trump has threatened tariffs not for economic or trade-related reasons. He has done it, frankly, to try to get Mexico to step up and deal with the fentanyl problem.
The president said on social media that illegal drugs continue to pour across the border, despite pledges from both neighbors to boost security. The tariffs continue to be a core piece of his second-term agenda. Additional taxes on imports of steel and aluminum are set to take effect later this month. Michael Board, TSN News.
There's some new hope in putting Texas high-speed rail on the fast track.
It looks like a big name in the rail business is very interested in developing the high-speed rail project that we've been talking about for almost 35 years. It would let people go from Dallas to Houston in just 90 minutes. Amtrak is taking actual steps forward by looking for what it calls a delivery partner to work on high-speed rail. This partner would work as design and construction management and how the rail works commercially. Basically, it's Amtrak's liaison to the project. Amtrak got an extra $64 million from the federal government for the project in September.
Newsman David Rankin reporting. Texas ranchers are losing crops and cash to feral hogs, and now the experts are stepping in to help.
Landowners in Guadalupe County, northeast of San Antonio, met with Texas A&M AgriLife Extension experts to tackle the problem, which cost millions in crop losses every year. There's even a $5 bounty per hogtail if you can catch them. Experts tell KENS television that corn is the best bait, but now there's a new option, a pesticide called Kaput, recently approved in Texas. The Texas Outdoor Annual app has details on hunting regulations and your rights when dealing with feral hogs.
There you go. Newsman John Mark Dempsey reporting. There's a new movement underway here in Texas to rebrand the New York strip steak into the Texas strip steak. Here's newsman Ted Linder.
Inspired by President Trump's rebrand of the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America, Texas Republican Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick says New York State is mostly just known for its dairy cows and says the name change would better reflect the Lone Star State status as the cow capital of America, adding that, quote, liberal New York shouldn't get the credit for our hardworking ranchers. The Texas cattle industry has an approximate market of $15.5 billion and is the state's largest agricultural commodity, that according to the Texas Department of Agriculture. Patrick says he wants Texas state lawmakers to approve the change in a formal resolution that would ask all local restaurants and grocery stores to update their menus with the change. Ted Lindner, Fox News.
It is 5:55. Stay close. We got traffic, your forecast of the day's top stories. It's all straight ahead here on News Radio KLBJ.
The Todd and Oz Show.